Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemical Engineering Investment channel. As you know, these days we are focusing on the subject of heat transfer operations. So in this regard, we are bringing the lecture number 8 for our valuable viewers. In our previous lecture, we had started the subtopic of heat transfer, that is the convection. We studied about the convection, different types of convection, which includes free and forced convection. Then we studied its linkage with the phase change. In our today's lecture, we will study the Newton's law of cooling and we will solve an example related to the Newton's law of cooling and related to the convection. So if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon to get all updates related to this channel. So going to Newton's law of cooling, in the same way for conduction, we studied the Fourier's law of heat conduction. In the same way, for convection, the law is named as Newton's law of cooling. The law states that the rate of convective heat transfer or the rate of convection heat transfer is observed to be proportional to the temperature difference and can be conveniently expressed as Q is equal to HAS bracket Ts minus T infinity. Now that H is the convection heat transfer coefficient or convective heat transfer coefficient, the units are watt per square meter Kelvin or BTU per hour per square feet per degree Fahrenheit. AS is the surface area through which the convection needs to be take place, or the convective heat transfer or the convection heat transfer takes place. Ts is the surface temperature, and T infinity is the temperature of the fluid which is sufficiently far away from the surface. Again, this is the temperature of one surface, the temperature of the other surface, and between these two surfaces, the heat transfer takes place. Note that at the surface, the fluid temperature equals the surface temperature of the solid. So this is the overall description of the Newton's law of cooling. Going to the convective heat transfer coefficient or the convection heat transfer coefficient, it is not a property of the fluid and is determined experimentally, and the values of this experiment or the value determined from these experiments are dependent on the various parameters such as surface geometry, nature of fluid motion, the properties of fluid, and bulk fluid velocity. As we have said, that it is basically conduction plus fluid bulk motion. If there is no bulk motion, it will go to the conduction, but if there is bulk motion, we will call it as the convective or convection phenomena. And different values of heat transfer coefficient, which is this one, H in watt per square meter per Kelvin for free convection of gases is between 2 to 25. For free convection of liquids, between 10 to 1000. Forced convection of gases, 25 to 250. Forced convection of liquids, 50 to 20,000. Boiling and condensation, 2500 to 1 lakh watt per square meter per Kelvin. So this is the overall description of the convective heat or convection heat transfer coefficient, which is a critical part once we talk about the Newton's law of cooling. So we will solve an example today, and the example statement is that a 2-meter long 0.3 centimeter dielectric wire extends across a room at 15 degrees centigrade. So we are given the dimensions about the wire, we are given the information about the temperature of the wire. Heat is generated in the wire as a result of resistance heating, and the surface temperature of the wire is measured to be 152 degrees centigrade in steady state operation. So once the steady state has been achieved, we see the surface temperature, which is Ts to be 152 degrees centigrade, while the initial temperature was 15 degrees centigrade. Also, the voltage drop and electric current through the wire are measured to be 60 volt and 1.5 amperes respectively. Voltage information is given to us, current information is given to us, disregarding any heat transfer by radiation. Obviously, there is another phenomenon of radiation which we will study after we finish the convection. We will assume that there is no other mode of heat transfer except the convection. Determine the convection heat transfer coefficient, which is H, for heat transfer between the outer surface of the wire and air in the room. So we have to determine the value of H. We have recently studied or today studied the mechanism of Newton's law of cooling, and we studied the correlation Q is equal to HAS Ts minus T infinity. We know the Ts, we know the T infinity, we know the area because we are given the dimensions, and we will calculate the Q using the information from the voltage drop and current, and then we will solve our today's example. But before starting that, we will just assume two conditions, that number one, the steady state operation, and number two, there is no heat transfer via radiation phenomena. Otherwise, it will complicate the situation, and we are just simplifying it for our system. And as you can see here, that the surface temperature is 152 degrees centigrade. The surface far away temperature is 15 degrees centigrade, while the current is 1.5 ampere through this wire, and the total voltage drop is 60 volts. So coming to the solution, we know Q is equal to E generated, the total watt, which is equal to voltage into the current. So it is 60 into 1.5. So the total heat generated in the system is 90 watt. The surface area of the wire can be calculated as pi dl. Diameter is 0.003 meter. Length is 2 meter. Multiplying these two with pi, we get the answer of 0.01885 square meter. Now we know the Newton's law of cooling. Q convection is equal to HAS Ts minus T infinite. Now we know the value of H or not. Obviously, we will have to calculate it. Do we know the value of Q? Yes, we know the value of Q. It is 90. AS 0.01885. T of S 152. T infinite 15. So just rearranging the equation as H is equal to Q over A as Ts minus T infinite. 90 divided by 0.01885 into 152 minus 15. So this gives an answer of 34.9 watt per square meter per Kelvin. So this is how we have used the Newton's law of cooling to calculate one of the parameter. Obviously, we can solve another example and we can calculate the value of maybe A or maybe Q or maybe some temperature. But obviously, for the convective heat transfer system or convection heat transfer system, we will always use the Newton's law of cooling. Just like in conduction, we use the Fourier's law of heat conduction. So that's it from today's lecture. I hope you have understood all the aspects of this lecture. If you have any queries, feedback, suggestion, please provide it in the comment box and I would be happy to answer it. So please subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon to get all updates related to this channel. Till then, it's goodbye. Stay tuned for more exciting videos on this channel.